Forget the promises of change, and the promise that my life ain't left up to simple chance. Man, inventor of the slogan, my word is my bond. His word separated earth from sea without a magic wand. Best life fixer up, oh yeah, he's a master carpenter, constantly building me without any lumber. Won't retreat, withdraw, backtrack, renege, resign. He said my future is all mine.
Promises, the single, is the lead track off of my debut single called Pieces. It was written a couple of years ago, springtime, but I think more importantly than like when it was written in a physical sense, it's like the time of life that it was written. I was working my regular full-time job, and I was still doing music. I was still very passionate about music, passionate about writing, engaged in my gift. God was just talking to me about who he was. Out of prayer one day, I just started thinking about and meditating on the promises of God, and it was like when I came out of prayer, that melody was just in my head, and I could hear it and I could feel it, and I got the whole first verse like nothing, and then the second verse came. And so when I was thinking about the part to tie together the promises of God and where believers were in my circle of things, the only thing I could think about was the song that I learned when I was a little kid, which was, you know, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. And what better way to showcase Christ than through who he's called us to be individually and collectively. Kenton was just the right fit for the song. When you think about his background, being a rapper and being a singer, he was, you know, in choirs, and he's led worship before. It just was natural. Praise God, you know, he listened to the music and really enjoyed it, really gravitated towards the message that God had given me. And from there, he just came and straight put the song over the top. And I mean, what else can you say? Promises, that's what it is. And my mom, being, you know, a teacher first, always having that applicability, that's just natural in me, and it's gonna come out in the music. Me being a musician, the music has to move me and speak to me that way, and it has to be strong music in the sense of, like, if I was playing that instrument, I would want to create that type of sound, and it has to reflect the message that God has given me for the kingdom. At the end of the day, you know, my music is about helping people, whether they're men or women, embrace their circumstances, embrace the lives that God has given them, and find peace and find purpose, and then ultimately use all of that God has given, whether they've gone through it and God has given them some extra strength, or whether they're in it and God is developing some new characteristics out of them, just to live that expression in full reflection of who God is and who Christ is. I want to empower people. I want to empower men and women. I want to empower males and females. I want to empower girls and boys to just find peace and purpose and walk in their own expression of who God created them to be, in the light that they know is Christ inside of them. And that's Trisha, Alicia.